Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. I'm doing a quick live this evening, Sunday, 7:47 p.m. over here in California in my Hobbit hole. I hope you are having a good evening or morning whenever you're listening to this. And as I refine my way of using this StreamYard software, I will be evolving and changing in my style. So thanks for going along for the ride. Yesterday was great. I had a conversation on the Saturday conversation series with DW, and it was very enlightening, inspiring, and just turned out great. So I definitely recommend you checking that out if you haven't already. I have so much this little pine cone down here, this little pineal gland down here in the corner glowing and just inspired and allowing in one paradigm shift after another, keeping my mind open and expanding, and just so excited about all of the connections and confirmations that are happening, cross references between other experiences and my own, whether it's friends that have made videos and published them on YouTube or things that I've been reading in different servers or forums. It's just incredible. I'm really excited to be putting together something to share with you pretty soon regarding, um, well, I'm just going to wait until I share it and then I'll explain it then. Got a little bit of a headache today, but that's all right. I'm happy to be. Let me do a sound check actually. Just a second. All right, sound seems to be working. Um, yes. So as I was saying, I have some really exciting plans to share with you guys here on the Subtle Realms channel. I'm putting together a pretty cool little video after I today and yesterday was so inspired and so mind blown by the confirmations. And this is an exciting time. The more people that are coming together that are interested in these topics that I'm talking about and our friends are talking about and different servers and channels. And I don't know how you guys feel, but myself in um, I feel really empowered and encouraged and stronger, and especially not to be doing these. Oh, hey, Greg. Greg says, can't hang out long, have to get up at 0 dark 100. Thought I'd drop in and say hi. Well, thank you so much for doing that. That's really cool. I hope you have a really good rest of your night and rest and rejuvenation and get up at 0 and have a great day tomorrow. Yeah, this is going to be a quick live, but I understand if you can't hang out, that's totally cool. And everyone should definitely take care of themselves first and foremost. And especially the theme of tonight's stream is me replaying one of the videos I have on my main channel, which is the last video I made over there before I came over here to start really focusing on some of these more clandestine topics and requires a specific type of a thinking or mind to appreciate. So I wanted to create the subtle realms to make that place for those focal points. Anyway, the video is about distractions, and I want it to not only be there, I want it to be here too because it's very relevant. The top 10 distractions that I think that we face in our day to day. She has prevailed. Chat was not working yet. I have prevailed, says Discog. Thank goodness. So great to see you. Hope you're having a good night. Um, I was talking about the distractions and how it's so relevant to our, as we're, I don't know about you, anyone listening, but this process of realizing over years and years and years and years how much conditioning and patterning and overlays have been piled up upon each individual so that when they really start to go within to try and discover these expanses, these realms that will really help click in these realizations and integrate them to then move forward and keep moving forward. Each layer that's removed from past conditioning, another layer is added into the internal realm exploration, which is fascinating. But there's so many things that I know that I get caught up in habitually, and I want to, and I do. I'm very mindful, and I tell myself, okay, hey, are you distracted right now? What is it that you really need to be doing? Taking care of basic needs, taking care of the environment, taking care of, you know, calming the nervous system. A lot of it is, well, I'll get into it in the video that I'm going to replay here. Um, and yeah, I made it about 4 months ago. It was a lovely summer day at the time. So I was feeling pretty good. Today is cold and it's becoming winter here. And so it's nice to see myself looking a little bit more vibrant from all the sunshine. But honestly, on the screen is what you can see is me, a little pine cone in the corner of my hobbit dwelling. That's pretty much what's going on. It is a lovely surprise, Discog. It's a lovely surprise to see you here. Thank you so much. So without further ado, let me cue this video up and it's about 35 minutes long, but I did plan on, pausing it if I felt that I want to clarify something or add a little bit more commentary, since I am in the subtle realms and I can speak to those more nuanced topics in a focused manner. Hope everyone's doing good. Dun, 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 dun. Share the screen. It's fun getting to know this software. I'm really loving it. To be able to express myself, because I have limitations with my dexterity lately. So it's easy for me to use a little laptop, not so easy to be painting and everything like I usually do. Usually I'm an artist and I bring through information, insights, translations from the unseen into my artwork, whether it be music, painting, drawing. But lately, this past year, I've just been trying to get my deepest thoughts out while I am here, and I am able to do that so that there's a place where everything is okay. There we go. I'm going to mute myself and then I'm going to press play, and then we're going to learn about what 4 months ago Heather said about distractions. And keep in mind some of the things I say, because it's my main channel. I I I definitely am a little bit more frank and open about my thoughts on these more hidden topics here at the subtle realms, but not so much on the main channel. So anyway, disclaimers finished. Thank you for joining me. I'm making this video to talk about distractions in the day-to-day worlds that can take us away from keeping our power and energy in our center, as if we were a battery that could be depleted and needed recharging. So, something to keep in mind as I talk about all of this. It's been a dedication of mine and a practice of mine to notice what distractions are in my life and to find ways to bring my attention back to me so that I can utilize my battery that we all have gifted to us to do things that I really need, like healing my body. And also, what it can be used for is remembering who you are and your authenticity. What is your essence? What do you really love doing? And I think a lot of us can forget about all of this when we're being pulled in so many different directions and it's so overwhelming. And another term besides battery, like a computer, when we process so much too much data, it stacks on top of itself and we burn out and become capable of doing any more processing. And then we're just kind of like on autopilot. This is when people become like a zombie or numbing out or are just so depleted and just they need to get energy now from anything that's in their surroundings. But ironically, the things that people tend to reach out for to give them energy in that state are just further and further and further depleting you. And, you just become very susceptible and incredibly vulnerable to a lot of things that see this opportunity to further siphon off of a very weak person. Here are 10 distractions that keep us from getting in touch with our authentic self, from honoring our essence. And let's look at also the emotional reasons why we may tend to those 1 through 10s. We can just discuss. I am not an expert. I am just sharing from the wisdom that I've incurred over the past decade or so, refining my life to bring my power back and to become more comfortable with doing that. So thank you for watching, and let's just dive right in. So the first thing I would say is the big obvious one that we all know about: how much time and distraction comes from social media. How it works is there's chemistry in our brains, and like someone that can be addicted to drugs, the dopamine and the serotonin that we can get from the interactions that we think we're having on social media, a vicious cycle that it's very, 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 very hard to break free from. I definitely utilize social media and share and appreciate when people like or send me a message or whatever. It makes me feel good, and that's a part of it, but I'm very aware of it. And something that I wanted to talk about with like doom scrolling, especially on Facebook or Instagram or any other platforms I don't use, like TikTok probably and Threads. Something that happens is the more and more and more we scroll, even though there's an algorithm that's suited toward you and your preferences, there's also unpredictability. Unpredictability. And when I go to sleep at night and I'm dreaming, some of the things that I saw that I didn't get to process. So there's two things. Like if you scroll, and you've just watched 25 to 30 reels or images or stories, even though you don't think you're taking in anything, or maybe you do know, but it happens so fast. The subconscious collects all of this stuff. And we have, before you know it, gone through maybe 5 different emotions like fear, happiness, sorrow, grief, horror, And then during our nighttime, while we're dreaming, it may induce anxiety and have all these weird dreams that aren't directly coming from the depths of our archetypal language from our subconscious. It's just about processing all this crap. As someone that is hypersensitive to a lot of different things on a lot of different spectrums, and being an empath, I am incredibly affected if I'm going through gardening reels and then all of the sudden there's a video of an animal being abused, or there's a video of people fighting, or something hypersexualized. And it puts me in a place that then I have to deal with processing that. And the more I experience having this injury that affects my central nervous system and my whole body, and the more precious my power and energy and my nervous system's health is, the less and less and less I'm tolerating these things that I don't agree to. So what I do for social media is I catch myself. I'll go on the page, I'll check in with the people or the messages that I want to. But then after that, I don't start gambling, basically. I don't start putting coins in the slot machine and getting these little hits of happiness or fear or whatever, and then have to process it later. So, what could be an underlying emotional reason that we are drawn to these things? The need for validation, the need to fuel our comparativeness, competition, envy. There's all sorts of emotions in their lower octaves that if we really spent some time sussing through all this stuff, we could flip these emotions and see where their roots actually come from and what could be a higher way to utilize these emotions. The second distraction, big one, is TV, movies, shows. I really do feel that, I haven't had a TV in my house in 20 years. I stopped watching movies about 10 years ago. I'm just talking about my experience. I'm not saying I'm an expert. I'm not saying anything about sharing my experience. I'm just telling you what I've been doing and what I've noticed. With the proliferation of ads and commercials and marketing and propaganda and predictive programming and seeding our subconscious to be thinking about something, and then a whole nother video could be about how we actually affect our environment with the states of mind that we hold most often. We are all rippling outward and have an effect. Heart math is a thing. Our electromagnetic fields is a thing. This isn't all incredibly woo-woo. That feeling that I get when an advertisement or a commercial comes on, that voice that's used to manipulate and to sell something, and I don't even know. It's so, I cannot. I cannot. So I pay for YouTube Premium, so I never have to watch an ad. Like I said, I don't watch movies. I don't want things. I don't want, if anything's going to try to manipulate me or to make me think about something that I don't want to be thinking about, because as an incredibly imaginative, powerful creator person, as an artist, as a sensitive person, as like a mystical type person, I know that these actually are things that manifest in the outer reality. And we all have this. This is not supernatural. It is just supernatural, like very, very natural. Every single person is a powerful, creative being. So what could be the emotional root that we're drawn to watching movies and TV and zoning out and all that stuff, and being susceptible to take in predictive programming and manipulation from ads? When we're in that zoned out zombie state, our brain waves are just like, taking in information. And we're so vulnerable in those states. All of a sudden, you don't know why, but you want to go out tomorrow and go shopping, and you want to stop at this fast food place so you can get the latest blah, blah, blah. And then you want to listen to this music because everybody else is. And then you want to talk about this because everybody else is. And you're not yourself. You are just being puppeted by, some operations. They are manipulating you to maneuver you around in this world and taking your precious energy from you on a day-to-day basis so that you cannot find your essence, and you cannot come into your authenticity, and that you cannot do the things that you really want to do and be innovative and progressive and caring and, be permission slips for other people to have them be stronger lighthouses for themselves as well. And, we can light up this whole system and do some really amazing things without being sidetracked and sucked dry of all of our potential every single day over and over and over and over again. So the third one I would talk about is consumerism. When you pull yourself away from that current that's just flowing by so fast with so much energy, and you realize, like, what is it that I really want to be doing? What is it that I really want to be spending my money on? Wow, I can actually save my money, and then I can like do really big things. Or like, I have a freaking garden out here. I'm growing my own food. Last night I had zucchini pasta. I'm growing butternut squash. I got herbs I'm eating every single day, oregano salad. I'm making mint tea. I've got blackberries. The list goes on and on and on. And I had not even gotten started yet. I just moved here like 6 months ago, and I have a whole seed collection from years. Where does the desire for extreme consumerism come in? Poverty mindset, scarcity mindset, to feel like you're keeping up with everyone, and so we can all relate and we all can see that we're all on the same page. We're all getting and doing and listening and buying the same things. So that means that we're still in the tribe and we're not kicked out because we're different. It might come from stuff like that. So number 4, I think, is notifications, which I hinted on a little bit earlier. Every time a little bell goes off, some kind of chemical reaction is released in our cell, either fear, who is that? Wondering if we're going to get another dopamine hit. Is it this? Is it that? Is it this? Is it that? So I turn off every single one of my notifications on my phone. I do not have my ringer on. I do not have my text messages ringer thing on, unless, of course, I'm anticipating that someone is going to call me and I have a plan for that. I will turn on, obviously, so that I can be present for what I've planned. But any unplanned notifications that just think they can immediately have access to my precious energy and stuff that's going on. And I want to say something right now too. If you've gotten this far and you're triggered, because it's like, I have a family, I have a boyfriend, I have a husband, which I don't have any of those things. I can delve deeper into this concept that I'm bringing up. And I understand when we have these relationships and interpersonal dynamics that rely on us, but you can still do all this stuff in a crafted, refined way that works for you, with your family's dynamic, with your partner's dynamic, with your whatever, your job, whatever. You can do all this stuff and still be considerate to those agreements that you have. So it's not just like, oh wow, must be nice, you have nothing going on, you can't work because you're extremely injured right now, you don't live with anybody, you don't have any animals or kids to take care of, I'm not married, I don't have a boyfriend, I don't have a family, I don't have all the stuff. I am sad about all of that. I don't know that I would definitely choose that if I had the choice, but I have an injury right now and it's requiring all of my attention and energy. And so that's just what's happening for me. So I get more time to contemplate. I'm experiencing extreme pain at the same time. So I don't know if you would cash in all of that to have isolation so you could focus more, because you'd have extreme pain. So it's all relative. Maybe the emotional route to getting notifications could be something like fear of missing out, FOMO. And so there's work to be done around that. How can I just be? We didn't used to have everything at our fingertips. How can I just be and allow without having to be right there? Like, let go of some of that control and need to know everything right at the first second. You can screen your stuff better. You're not just susceptible to answering the phone and then, it's a conversation that you don't want to be having. 5, another big distraction or something that could be taking away from our center and our power is like work and career that we've chosen. Is it aligned with your integrity? Is it something that you feel passionate about? Or is it just really to make money and you're just giving up your energy and your stuff just so you can make money, which is unfortunately what a lot of us have to do. I still have to work. I'm trying to sell my art. I sell my art. This is another thing. I don't want people to see me and I'm making this video and think automatically that I'm healed and I'm all better and I can get back to work. If I took down these beautiful green crystalline curtains, you'd see that I'm sitting on my bed and I have a bunch of stuff around me that I need for my accessibility. I have a wheelchair over here. I can't sit up for very long. I'm going to have to end this video pretty soon. So just because I'm being sweet to myself and letting myself play and, put a little makeup on and make this jewelry, I just made it for this video. I'm so grateful that I get to do that, but I'm going to have to rest a lot. And hopefully I don't have like some insane flare up from sitting up for so long. Anyway, don't assume about anything, about anyone at any time. And I think that's another wise thing to say. So, in regards to work and career, I think the important thing about that is to set boundaries and to only do it during certain times. And when you're not working, shut it off and create boundaries. I think that's a good thing to do there. And if you can find a different job, if you don't like what you're doing, so that it's not a double siphon, it's not only taking your energy, but it's taking your integrity and kind of soul sucking. Like, figure it out and try to find a job that works with your passions and what you believe in, your values. I'm pausing it really quick because I wanted to um, elaborate on that double siphon that I just said. I think a really potent energy, even though, a really potent energy to perhaps harvest, or that goes back into the powering of this weird system. I think one of the lower level but very potent energies that's really strong is when someone is still attached to their direct connection to their essence and it has not been ethereally calcified, however you want to put it. And their heart is still very much open, yet they are doing something that they don't agree with deep down inside and participating in something that makes them feel uncomfortable because we know that the way that things are set up is not ideal and actually causes a lot of trauma and manipulation. And it's just fundamentally kind of wicked. um, or just very, very, I don't even know. Anyway, agreeing with something, going along with something like as simple as a job, it can be a layer, it can be fractalized, a smaller version and bigger version. Having a conversation with someone you don't want to be having a conversation, but you're doing it anyway, and you feel really uncomfortable inside. Supporting your work environment that has a goal or a mission that you don't align with, that you don't agree with, and you're giving them a lot of your time and energy and effort. And that inner disagreement, that inner cognitive dissonance with the people that I think are really connected still to that essential part of us, I think that's like one of the strongest forms of energy to be collected in this realm. So, after a long life of being a people pleaser, um, I've been refining and refining and refining and finding ways to um, get to know my inner barometer and my inner GPS, and that make quickly feel if something doesn't sit right with me and I don't agree, then I don't keep myself in that situation anymore or pretend that I agree when I don't agree. And I'm still working on it because even currently I am involved in some dynamics that I don't 100% agree with the way that they are um, being performed or however. So I still have work to do on that too. So maybe that's why I keep reiterating that particular message. Let's see. It- Greg says it may be that a lot of us have these crappy life scripts. Is that we are the troublemakers and glitch the matrix punishment for being the rebels? Absolutely. I definitely agree with that and can relate to that. The more that some of us are like thinning the veil, quote unquote, the more attention we have on ourselves. And um, yeah, it's very interesting. I feel like I'm becoming like a little bit of a ninja with this whole process, an inner ninja. So yeah, it's another video. I just wanted to pause it and talk about that cognitive dissonance in the ones that, yeah, you can listen to that part again. I'm gonna press play, and thanks y'all for being here. And I've got about, what does this say, 17 more minutes on the video. Okay. Systems and integrity. 6, over socialization and gossip. So I've been in relationships just one-on-one, it's just been me and my boyfriend for years and years and years, different relationships. And I didn't really have a lot of friends or a big friend circle that I checked in with constantly and talked about the latest da 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 da. And, you know, I've noticed that over these past 3 years, since I've been single for the longest time, since I have been, since I was a teenager, and I noticed that I quickly like started making friends and all these beautiful people who I love very much. I realized that, wow, there's no way I can keep up with talking every day, talking every other day. And if I have 5 or 6 friends and I'm trying to juggle all of that during a week, that means I'm talking to someone every day. And some days I don't want to talk to anybody. And I don't want to be made to feel bad that I'm not able to keep up that relationship. So I would hope that all my friends know that my heart is equipped with a space for them that will never expire. And just because I can't continue to talk all the time, and it doesn't mean anything else. So, anyways, when we have a tendency to over socialize and then talk about superficial type things and then start gossiping about people, and then quickly you feel drained, you leave that conversation, you leave that place where you met with that person, and you just feel like, ugh, gosh, we could have really used our time and our words and our energy a lot more wise. So until you're able to do that, I would suggest pulling back on having so many conversations and just look at, like, what do you agree with? What do you not agree with? And then start becoming more determined to keep that, to be less of a people pleaser, which is something that I'm still on the path of. Like, I'm making this video. For years, I would be a people pleaser because I know people that will watch this video and think I've lost my freaking mind. And it's okay. I don't want to be in this world for anybody else but me. This is me. And if I people please for the rest of my life and do things for other people that don't actually care about helping me, I'm living here by myself. I could be living with someone that would be much better than living by myself. If anybody's not really helping you, then they don't get to decide how you're spending your time. If I'm in an environment with someone that really cares and is like helping me and is sharing a house with me, I'll be, considerate about cohabitating and co-harmonizing. But I'm on my own. And so here I am, done people pleasing, done catering to having conversations about something that doesn't agree with me. I don't want to talk about that. So, hey, I can only talk for 10 more minutes and then I got to go. I love you. Bye. It could be unhealthy stuff like trauma bonding. It could be codependency. It could be you falling into an empath narcissist relationship. It could be so many things that once we take the time out and look at what we're actually doing and find the higher octave of that lower octave emotion that was putting us in that place in the first place, and then find better ways to nourish yourself on your own or to refine your life so that you're only speaking with people that feel that higher octave. So 7 is news information overload. So yes, I'm making this video talking about be careful with distractions, be careful with where your energy's going. I'm not saying become a full-blown conspiracy theorist and don't watch the news. I don't watch the news, but I know what's going on because I glimpse and glance once in a while. And if something is huge and really, really important, how do you really even know if that's still really important? But I take a look at it and I use my inner GPS and I say, how do I feel about it? Okay, I'm not going to let the news and the information overload force me to make a decision about what category I'm going to be in. And so that anything other outside of that category is bad and should go to hell. I'm not going to fall into that trap. There's so much divisiveness in society. What do you agree with? What do you believe in? How can we believe in anything when the world is constantly changing and beliefs are open to interpretation? I am not going to get trapped in the fear porn of news that's making me have more drug chemistry reactions in my body that I need to be glued to the screen to know what's happening next, when all it's doing is weakening my amygdala and my brain and making it impossible for me to make mature, responsible decisions on my own because I'm in such a state of weakness and fight or flight and I don't even know what to do and I need someone to tell me what to do. I'm not agreeing with that. I do not agree with that. Coming back to like the scrolling, the overload of information, because we're also, processing throughout the day and in our dreams of what happened to us during the day. Like information overload is like scrolling 50 reels and then having 50 different emotions and then thinking about 50 different ideas and processing like emotionally each person that you see and the situation. And that's a lot. We have enough to take care of with what are we going to eat? How are we taking care of ourselves? What's a progressive way I can think? What's a better way I can be tomorrow? What can I organize? What can I do for myself? That's enough. That's enough information to have to process besides putting on a bunch of other crap that has nothing to do with your life. The toxic emotional trait that could have to draw us toward that would be probably, again, like fear of missing out, fear of missing something and wanting to stay in the loop. We're not going to be out of the loop. We're always here together. And we can come from a responsible, calm place about it, or we can come from a drugged out autopilot fear state about it. Number 8 would be a toxic relationship. I mentioned before, like the narcissist empath thing. I know that narcissist is a huge, like overused term the past few years. But it's a real thing. Codependency and working out those weird little mind games or reproducing patterns that we had growing up with other people that we're meeting now to try and resolve the relationships problems from the past in the future. It just is a mess. It gets messy and we have to see really quickly the patterns and how is this person showing up in my life? What do they want from me? How are they asking for what they want? What do I want from them? Can we exist without wanting anything? Do we have a transactional thing going on? Is it healthy? Do we have a mutual understanding about what that's based on? Am I trying to trick you? Are you trying to trick me? Is there something weird underneath all of this? Just really paying attention to every single interpersonal dynamic that you have in your life and correcting those things, because it's incredibly draining. And then all of a sudden you're thinking about this relationship, thinking how, oh my God, this is bothering me. Da, 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 da. And then all of a sudden your battery is dead. So the unhealthy emotion for that could be like an attachment. We can be addicted to unhealthy patterns. We can be addicted to, because that's all we knew. That's all we knew growing up. We didn't know any better. This is what we saw. Take it back, reevaluate. How do you really want to live? And practice, little by little, baby steps every single day. Stay aware, stay conscious, stay on top of what you're doing. Number 9 is excessive planning and worrying. The weight of the world and all the things that we have to do can be overwhelming. And I just got a planner, a 3-year planner, which is really cool. I hope I live to fill in the whole thing. This condition that I have is very unpredictable and it's a lot to manage. And so fingers crossed that, or I don't know if that's a spell, all the things aligned so that I may live and live and live. And even if I don't, then I can still give and give and give. But I won't be stuck in the astral realm. I will be out, free and sovereign, exploring and perhaps creating my own universe from where I want to do it, from my heart, not from a transactional desire to fuel parasitic interactions. When we try to take on too much, it's quickly burning us out. So small bites, understand that, that's happening. I can't get to it now. I don't even know when I'm going to get to it. So I'm addressing this week and that's it. I'm addressing this tomorrow and that's it. I'm addressing this today and that's it. And have some time to think about that before you go to sleep. When you're waking up, take some precious time and plan out how you'd like your day to be, what you'd like to focus on, and focus on that. And don't get all static, all these distractions that can take you away from your mission, what you wanted to do. And then quickly you're feeling shitty because you didn't do what you wanted to do. And that's where the rumination comes in, the excessive worrying. When I feel like when I'm thinking and ruminating a lot about like something that happened in the past or something that I have no control over, it's another chemical reaction is releasing cortisol and too much stress in my body. And that wears down. It's oxidative stress. It wears down the heart, the adrenal glands, the mind, everything. And it's just no bueno. So pay attention when you find yourself caught in a loop of worrying and rumination and thinking about something that's not relevant. Because I think our mind doesn't know the difference if we're thinking about something or if we're actually doing it. There is some scientific research that talks about that. Toxic emotion that could be leading us to do these things could be like the fear of the unknown. Like I was definitely this past year, I'm not knowing what's happening in my body. I'm so uncomfortable. I can't get out of bed. I can't move my body. Am I going to die? Or the fear of the unknown, and then becoming okay with, yeah, if I die right now, I lived a great life. We're all going to go. And don't let fear of the unknown take away your precious energy while you're still here in this moment. The last one can be perfectionism and overachieving. That can be a big distraction. So caught up all day of like, I need to be the best. I need to do this perfect. Only I know how to do this. They can't do this. I got to do this. I got to be a hustler. I got to make money. I got to get a side hustle. I got to look this way. I got to do this. You feel insecure and you feel like you got to prove it to yourself all day, every day, that you're confident and that you've got your stuff together. And we're all human. We're all fumbling through this experience every day. Just because you're older, just because I'm older, doesn't mean that I'm doing things. Basically, what I'm saying is the older you get, it's not directly equivalent to the smarter you are. So the older people get, sometimes the more chances they've had to be usurped by distraction, that they're running on a part of their brain and their spirit's not even in their body. I'm noticing that I'm glad that it's over, this video, that I've gotten to 10, and I hope you got something out of it. What if I could do something like this once every week and a half? That would be so cool. Every single day, I am dedicated to my physical therapy and to the goals that I have for myself to keep myself feeling healthy and aligned and, doing the things that bring me joy. And I am a lighthouse, just as you are, a beacon. And let's shine from our authentic essence, from who we truly are, and give permission to those around us to be the same. And we can come together from these balanced emotional spaces and make really wise decisions about what's going on in our environment, our community, and our relationships, instead of coming from a place of fear and paranoia and all those lower octave emotions. And just like, I feel so nice to be around someone that has relaxed, that is taking care of their emotional health. And let's provide a sense of safety and stability and nurturing for each other so we can go into the future and progress instead of continuing to go into the future and just continuously being siphoned on more and more and more and more and more. And who's in control then? What kind of puppet master is in control then? And what kind of world is that going to be? So take some time and think about these things. And thank you for watching. All right. That was that. So 4 months ago, healthy summertime vibes, California. Pretty funny watching myself speak sometimes. Um, I love what you said. Trust in one's own individual sacred journey, Discog. Yes, absolutely. That is the most important. And wherever one is on their journey is that's where they are on their journey, and that's sacred and that's valid. And we are in this together. Um, we can look at it in several ways, what exactly we are in together. A testing ground, a Lush garden, no idea. Still trying to find a place that I can express myself without having people overhear what I'm saying on the other side of the wall. Okay, I hope anyone that's been here listening, sorry, I got distracted. I hear doors slamming pretty much constantly throughout the day and night, and try to get myself in a more conducive environment to not feeling like there's, but you know what? How do we know that wherever I am next, perhaps some other element of the environment is going to be infiltrated because it's in the coding? Is there a quota that everyone has to meet to receive these triggering things that test us every day to see if we're going to respond or if we're going to react? Oh, wow. Thank you everyone for being here. I'm going to wrap this up unless anybody has anything to share or want to hop up and have a chat. Just wanted to make this video to stream that video and have it on the Subtle Realms channel as well as the Heather Mattoon channel. So I said in the beginning of this video that I am really excited. The past couple days, I've been making some new connections, and having some confirmations through some other people's videos that they've shared that I'm like, yes, oh my gosh, that's another puzzle piece. And we had such a similar experience. And now I feel more empowered and inspired to share based on what I've been listening to the past couple days, really confirming and validating some of the experiences that I've had. And feel like we're getting closer and closer to having deeper understandings of how the mechanisms of this matrix are in place and what for, and what can we do about not participating in the future if we don't want to. So, thank you for being here as well, Discog. Appreciate your support and camaraderie. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream. Hope everyone has a good rest of your day or night, and look forward to sharing the next video with you guys and seeing you in the servers.